Research tells us that we make a first impression of someone within 7 seconds. So take a moment and reflect on what your 7-second thought is of me, who I might be, and what my story is. Would any of you guess that I live in a very small town of 2,400 people? My town would fit inside the Lucas Oil Stadium 29 times. Would you guess that my first job was at Walmart? I was the fastest checkout person that you've ever seen. Would you guess the first 13 years of my career was spent in construction HR, boots under my desk, male-dominated industry? Oh, and by the way, I love to go mudding and ATV riding on the weekends. All of these things are part of my story, but maybe not at first glance what you might expect. Sometimes we call those 7-second thoughts judging a book by its cover. But my cover, my pink suit, my fur coat, and my high heels are also a part of my story. They are not separate from who I am, but they are a part of me. They are what are on the pages of the inside of my book. You see, I love fashion, and it's deeply rooted in my soul. It started back in my childhood. I had a great-grandmother who worked at fancy department stores in Wisconsin, and on the holidays, she would send me catalogs. I would go through those catalogs for hours. In my town, we didn't have any stores, let alone department stores, and I would dream of growing up and wearing those fashionable clothes one day. When my grandmother passed away, I inherited this gorgeous fur coat from her, and it even has her initials embroidered inside. Fashion is a part of who I am. I don't love it because I want to outdo anyone or because I want to make others feel bad for not dressing up. This is just me and who I want to be. I will wear these high heels to the local grocery store in my hometown and not even think twice, although I may get a few looks. When I am being myself, I often worry, what will others think of me? Will they get to know me? Or will they think I'm over the top? People often ask me, why do you always dress up? Why do you always wear high heels? And how do you walk in those? People throughout my life and career come up to me after getting to know me and say, wow, I was wrong about you. And I'm always like, what do you mean? And they'll say things like, when I first met you, I thought, oh boy, this lady's probably over the top, or stuck up, or you made me feel intimidated. But once I got to know you, I realized that was not the case. You love and care about people, and that I do. I love and care about people. That is my passion. 4 years ago, I started a job in a new industry. 13 years in construction HR, and I knew my way around. But I knew nothing about pharmacy benefit management. The company was in Washington, Indiana, a much smaller town than I was accustomed to working in. So I did not wear my high heels the first week on the job. I did not want to make the wrong impression, and I wanted people to be open to me. I wanted to connect with the people of my new organization. As weird as this sounds, I did not feel like myself, and I was too short to reach the microwave in the break room. I lacked confidence, and that was not me. So in week 2, I thought, if this is my job and my new work home, I must be the real me. So I dressed up and I wore my high heels. Several people stopped me in the hall and they said, hey, just so you know, we don't have to dress up here. And I said, oh, I know, this is what I like to wear. So my point is, show up as your authentic self and things will go smoother. You will be more confident in every way. So many of us and the people we manage don't show up authentically to work because we're afraid of judgment. We must get to know the people around us and appreciate their uniqueness so they can be their best. We must accept all types of people and not praise only those who fit inside our ideal box or make us feel more comfortable. So now, I wear my high heels no matter what people think, even on casual Fridays. When people can't be themselves, they don't bring all their creative ideas, or they may lack the confidence to speak up and solve some of your company's biggest problems. Judgment and not allowing people to be who they are will cost you in financial ways. So here's a fun story. I'm going to take you back to my college days. I worked at a fancy women's clothing store called Cachet. Does anybody remember Cachet? $80 t-shirts, embellished jeans, expensive ball gowns. Yep, that's it. I love that job. I was the top salesperson in my district, even though I worked at the smallest volume store year after year. Coworkers and managers across my region would ask, how do you do it? And I would tell them two things. I get to know my customers, and I don't judge a book by its cover. So I was working in the store one Saturday, and it was busy. Busy was good because we worked on commission. There was 4 of us working, and a lady walked in who did not look like our typical customer. Her hair was a mess, her clothes were dirty, and she looked as if she were in a bad mood. My manager and I were both free to help, but my manager let her pass without acknowledging her. I went up to her and I asked how I could help. I asked what occasion she was shopping for, and then I showed her all the nicest things in her size. That lady ended up spending $3,000 that day on clothes. When she was checking out at the register, she said to me, I almost left the store when that lady didn't approach me, assuming it was my appearance. But since you quickly came to help, I decided to stay. When that lady left, my manager was in disbelief. I told her that my new customer was married to one of the owners of Holiday World and had been helping at the park that day. She made a quick trip to Cachet to get an outfit for an event that night. That customer became a repeat customer for me, and we had a wonderful connection. I knew all my customers. I knew their birthdays, their size, their favorite color, and what events they had coming up. I had all different types of customers, and I got to know them, not judge them. And that's how I became the top salesperson. So, what if we took that first 7 seconds to accept people we meet and ask about their story? What if we even connect with them and find something to compliment them about? Those first 7 seconds are more about our own insecurities. And if we can silence that, we can make space to be open-minded and truly meet others. That will lead to wonderful connections, conversations, relationships, and maybe even a $3,000 sale. People notice if you genuinely care about them and get to know what they need. That makes a huge impact on people. So, be who you are and accept others for who they are. I know I'm going to continue to wear pink and high heels everywhere I go, including the local grocery store in my hometown. Take the first 7 seconds to accept, not judge, and it will change your life.
Yes, keep it going. It takes a lot of guts to go first. Thank you. I just meant thank you, not like thank you, like leave. Told you we're not about a perfection around here. This is your crew at TrueScripts.
It's my crew. I couldn't look at you guys, it'd make me too nervous, so. And I knew you were over there, but I just didn't want to look.
They made the trek from Southern Indiana up for this event tonight, 3 hours.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
And they have showered her with gifts and love and all things that you would want a company to do. Just for like 6 seconds, what does TrueScripts do for those who might not know you?
We are a pharmacy benefit management company, and we are very unique and different because we do things in a different way. Amazing care is our tagline, because we have an amazing customer service model. And we treat our people awesome too, so.
And you look really good while you do it. Thanks, Hannah, we love you. Let's give it